Hello and Merry Tuesday, everyone. I am self-diagnosing. Where is it? I am making a mad dash out of here, because what else can I really be reasonably expected to do? Now that we're in the normalness of it all. Oh, this is gonna be easy. It's gonna be so easy, and I'm so ready. And why am I self-diagnosing as normal? Well, I was gonna wait until, Christmas Day properly to open my present, so to speak, but I am too excited. I can't wait. I need to see my loves, my darlings, my sweet little angels. I need to see them in all of their cradling, joyful goodness. But first, I am very happy with this particular location. Who are you? How dare you? You copper your way in here and expect mercy. Expect even mercy from me? You shall not receive such. It just won't happen. It just won't happen, bub. Oh, great. Well, let's see if I have any food. Do I have any food? I have potatoes to plant. That's almost food. That's kind of like food. Let's try a quick little primer. On farming and crop rotation and joy and nitrogen and other sources of nutrition. Last potato. I think that should be good. Have I got a bucket? I've got a bucket. I've got a bucket. A singular bucket. My loves, my darlings, my sweet angels, I'm coming for you. Don't fear. Don't worry. Don't hesitate. Don't pupate. Don't scrupulate. All will come clear in time. For you see. Oh, that's interesting. Have I discovered a glitch? I hope so, and I hope they don't fix it. But if there's one thing I know, they always try to fix it. They always try to make it look the way they think it should be, instead of the way that it is. And that frustrates me for some reason. Because I appreciate the imperfection. I love the imperfection. I perfectifies the imperfection. And that's what makes me the best and coolest. But because I love this space so much, I have realized that it is time to go ahead and make my classic eyeball in this base. And what better place to put the eyeball than right at the crest of this beautiful valley. And how am I going to accomplish that, you ask? Well, never fear, dear viewer. I didn't get as far as I have in life by being, well, actually, I don't know how I got as far as I have in my life, if I'm being extremely honest. Most of it was, I want to say a combination of dumb luck and smart luck. Something like that. Something like that. So what am I making this eyeball? I think pink pink is a good color because we've got the cherry blossoms here, you know, right here. This is definitely the right biome for a little pink eyeball, you know, a little pink eye. You know, it's definitely not an infection. You know, it's not an infection. It's a normalness. It's totally normal. And then, where is this? There's that. And then there's a white iris. And then we can go back here. And we can do that one. We can do this one. And we can do this one. And then it's just a matter of getting the dirt back. If we can get the dirt back, would be nice. Would be nice. But that's, you know, sometimes you just gotta go with what you can go with, you know. And then, let's see, what about food? Do I have any food? There's some bread. You know what? Any port in a poot. That's what they say. And then that goes down with me. Do I want the silk touch? Probably not. Do I want the obsidian? Probably. Do I want the stone pickaxe? Probably. Okay. More saplings? I think we'll leave some up here, but we do want at least a moss block in the old inventory. And I think I have vines down there. And this is relevant to my strategy. Okay. There we go. Let's see, is that going to work? I need to be a lot more careful about how I navigate this space now. Trying to remember how this all works, but that works. So let's just go ahead and do it, you know? Let's just go ahead and do it. Oh, that's nice. That's not particularly very healthy. I don't like the way that looks. I don't like the way that looks one bit. Okay. Conflict avoidance. Activate. That doesn't seem like a real representation of the reality of the situation. Alright, here it is, dear friends, dear viewers. The culmination of years of hard work and labor and effort to free the poison spiders from their imprisonment, to free them from the darkness which binds them. You know, the metaphorical darkness, you know. Oh no. Hello. Hello, hello, my love, my darling, my angel, my sweetness. Oh, yes, good, yes. Oh, they like me. They like me. Oh, look. They've infected me with their love. Hooray. Yippee. Yes, good. Hello. Yes, good. Yes. Yes, good. How much string is that? Is that enough? Yes it is. Is that enough pink petals? Yes, it is. Hello, yes, good. Yes, my pretties. Yes, my pretties, my precious, my darlings. Ah, my dear sweet loves, without whom nothing would be mattering very much. Except you. You suck. You suck. Get out of here. your glitchy lighting effects. Come on. Come on. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that nonsense. Get out of here with that nonsensical nonsense. That's extremely silly of you. You know? It's extremely silly of you to think you can get away with that nonsense around me, you know? Get away with all that nonsense? No, you could not. That's not the way it works. Me and nonsense, we're like enemies. We're like mortal enemies. I hate nonsense. You know? Nonsense? I rarely know her. Okay. Wait a second. Is that how that goes? Nonsensical, I barely know her. Something like that. Okay, wait a second. We need this. We probably need that. We probably need that. We probably need this. We probably need this. We should probably grab that. And we should grab this. And this. And that. 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 And then that is fine. Do I have all of my armor still? Yeah, I do. So that's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? All good. If you know what I mean. If you understand, you know, the message. The meaning behind the message, behind the message, behind the meaning. If you understand all that, then you should understand the situation as well. But if you don't, then you won't. And that's just the way it is. Oh no! There sure do seem to be a lot of villager zombies. I wonder if there's like a specific reason for that. I get it. I think I got it. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Okay. Wait. No. I don't know what attacked me there, but it seems to have left me alone for the night. I don't know why it did that, actually. Usually it's not that forgiving. Am I gonna admit that was a tad stressful? No. That was nothing. You know, I was barely scared. I was barely even scary. You know, that wasn't even scary to me. I am too tough for that to scare me, because I am not scary to be scared. Nope. Oh, there you are. Yeah. You can't shoot me through the fence. No. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, pal. Sorry, palorific Pellerino. That's not how it goes. Sorry, San Pellegrino. You know, that's not how we do it here in Reno. That's just not how we do it here in Reno. You know, I mean, people might do it differently in other places, but these are not those. So, tough petunias to you, BBG. Well, let's put it here. And then, I don't know why I just put it there. A solid state storage. You know, I could say solid state storage, and that would make me sound smart and cooler. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's solid state storage, baby. Solid state storage. Just like Solid Snake. One of the coolest guys. One of the coolest guys to ever exist. Solid state storage steak. Solid state steaky dick. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay. What's all this then? What's all this then? You know, sometimes my British mode gets activated. It's extremely unfortunate mental condition. Not the only one to suffer from it though. So we're gonna have a lot of string, I think, from this whole thing. From this whole thing, there's gonna be a lot of string. So I like that. I do like that. I am a fan of that. I am happy with that. I do see that as a generally favorable, desirable outcome. I can get rid of that. I don't really need that. I don't really need that. I can get this, I can get that. I kind of don't really like that. So let's get rid of it. Get rid of it. We don't need it. No. Here we go. There's some copper. But not like the dumb kind. That's dumb and useless. The useful kind that can be used for transmitting electricity. And hey, I was looking for that. And what do I trade it for? I can make you into something. I can make this into sticks, and I can make this also into sticks. Okay. Then I just have a bunch of sticks. And you know what they say about girls with a lot of sticks? They have acquired them legally and through non-nefarious means. That's what they always say. But is it the truth? We have yet to find out. We have yet to understandalize that. We have yet to analyze it. To annual innocent. Here we go. Okay. So. Verbal whistle. Involuntary verbal whistle. Okay. Bump. Okay, so our goal for this episode is simple. Okay, it's simple, it's direct, it's practical. It's that which must be done for the will of the people, for the good of all compost-based entities, past, present, and future. It's very simple, okay? We build a nether portal. Okay, it's just one nether portal. That's the goal for this episode, okay? It's simple. I know. It's simple. It's practical. It's straightforward. It's direct. It's erect. It's very neat. It's very important. It's very worthwhile. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. It's very direct. It's very erect. Oh no. And it doesn't involve getting buried under a mountain of gravel. No, it doesn't. Unless you spell it with an O, and use it recreationally. Definitely that I'm advising that. When was the last time any of y'all seen the Hat Man, What do we do about the good old days? Y'all used to love the Hat Man. Who is your favorite hat guy? Who is your favorite hat-related creepypasta guy? Now people barely talk about the Hat Man, only in passing. Only in hushed whispers. I think it's a tragedy, The Hat Man used to be one of us, People used to see the value of the Hat Man. But now, in the bad times, where people are different and dumber, things have changed. And I don't like it when things change. It makes me angry and sad, and small-minded and irritable and small-minded and sad, and sadly small-mindedly irritable. So, those are some of the emotions that I feel, all of them being real, actual emotions that have been identified in the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Psychology as being real emotions. Here we go. Okay. This thing, we can definitely get, well, not you. No, man. I got out of there so fast. No. You... I mean, pardon my language, but you fucking pathetic husk filled. Was my diamond in there? You useless douche dingle. Donker wonker. What the hell? Darn it! All of those things. And more, in fact. More of those things than that thing. What? The poop. Well, I'm closing myself off emotionally. That's what I'm going to do. You know, vulnerability. She is us. No one loves vulnerability. Vulnerability is dumb. Vulnerability is over. Vulnerability privileges rescinded. Set phasers to... I'm gonna get you. Alright. Alright. Let's keep working on this situation here. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. That situation. That situation. And then there's gonna be lava. There's gonna be lava. Right. So there's lava, okay? And then there's this thing. And then do I still have that single dripstone? I sure do. You know, I still have that thing. I still have this. So that's important. But do I have everything that I was looking for? Ugh, I feel like I lost something nice there. I feel like I lost something pretty important there. I still have the enchanted apple, I still have the diamond horse river, I still have one minecart with chest. That's not as many iron ingots as I had. I mean, there's a lot of space down there for something to have fallen. But that's now very high risk to explore. Well, guess I'm going with it. Here, we want one cauldron. Uno caldrono. Uno caldrono. You know, that's it. Okay, so what for now? We'll just, you know, we'll just go with the progression of it all. I know that's that. And this is this. And this is the next one. So that's the order of operations. We go 2, then we go 5. 2, 5, 6. Not what I wanted to do. Oh well. Well. Anyway, solid state storage. Solid state storage. Solid snake steak. Solid snake steak, you know? Solid snake steak. Let's go with this. Let's just start looming around. You know, start looming with it. Start looming with it. Okay, well that's kind of cool. There's a place to kind of like scrape out some andesite from the rock. I like that. You know? I'm still grateful. You know, I'm still embodying the spirit of the season. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's not my spawn point. Remember that bed that I slept in? Remember that bed that I slept in? The one that was a bed that was right there, that was my bed that I slept in, and I slept in it, and it was my bed? That's where my spawn point is. It's not this place. What is this? Come on. You know better. That's not my spawn point. That's not where my spawn point is. That's not where it is. Physically, that's not the location where it is. I put my bed down. You saw me. I put my bed down, and that's where my spawn point is. You mother son of a butt. Alright. I guess this is just gonna be the way that it is. Well, now I'm just feeling pissed off and not funny. Unless you'll find me funnier when I'm pissed off, which would be unfortunate. Because it's kind of the opposite of what I want to do. This is not good. This is, in terms of what would be a good situation, this is like the opposite of that at all levels. Oh no. Okay, well, at least I have pants, you know? At a sword. Pants and a sword. You know, that'll get a girl most of the way. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I need a weapon. Food, food. Armor, armor. Food, food. Oh, this is not good. Where's my pickaxe? There's my pickaxe. Y'all saw that. Y'all saw that. They don't call me good at Minecraft for nothing. They don't really call me that. But they should, is my point. I would argue they should call me good at Minecraft. Fight the dogs. Fight the dogs. You know? Fight the dogs. What is it? Is it Christmas? Or is it everything sucksmas? You know? This is not to be tolerated. This is not to be tolerated. This is not a tolerable situation. You know? This is not a tolerable situation, is it? Not even a bit, nope. This needs some real big solving, this whole situation of it all. I would really like to plant my potato, because I have a feeling I really need a solid food source, and I need it fast. So let's plant the potato. You know, plant the potato of potatoing and of joy. You know, the potato of potatoing and of joy. That's what it's called. That's its name. That's why it's named that. Do I have any arrows? I have no arrows. I have copper. I have pickaxes aplenty, so that's good. I have a single bread. I have a bale of wheat. A bale of wheat, you know, and a killer whale. Yeah. So I guess that's just gonna have to be like the starting point. We're just gonna make some furnaces and try to kind of carry on with our lives, really. Heal up, you know, make a cavity in the earth, you know, be a little bit of a cavity girl, you know, a cavitation girl, you know, a girl who makes a cavity, girl who makes a hole in the ground at the slightest provocation, you know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make a hole in the ground, because, for now, I'm kind of stuck until I restore my, my hunger meter. Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting, and by interesting I mean really bad and difficult situation, that really didn't need to be as bad as it ended up being. Let's see. I mean, we gotta start with the guys we can know. Okay, fine, whatever. You're probably the least of my problems right now. You're probably the least problem guy I could know right now. And then there's you. You're fine. Okay, look, fine, whatever. There are gonna be zombies in caves. That's just the situation. Okay, well, there's gonna be Endermen in caves. That's just the situation. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of zombies in caves. That's just the situation. Ugh, do I keep running? Do I try to get them to turn against each other in rage? Probably that's the right option, I think. Okay, what is that? That's just a weird reflection. Okay, I'm gonna go where I know it's safe. You know, where my love is, where my looming, ominous, wonderful wife is. You know, who makes all kinds of wonderful, creepy, horrifying noises for me. And I'm just gonna go say hi, because I feel like she'll understand. You know, that I'm really just not here for like a bad time. I'm here for a good time. I'm here for things to be okay. I'm here to like unwind, relax, enjoy life. You know, she'll know. She'll understand. She'll get it. You know, she'll get it. So, that's kind of where I'm at. But I can kind of like work my way back. I can kind of work my way back. Work Come on, where we're going. Oh, there's always someone behind you, you know? There's always someone behind you. You gotta watch your back. You know? There's always someone in the behind place. There's always someone crawling up your ass, you know? I feel like my experiences are probably universal. I feel like my experiences are probably universal. I feel like they're probably universal experiences. I feel like what I experience is like what everyone experiences universally. Ooh. You know what? Let's go for it. You know, we've barely got any health. We've barely got the ability to get back up to where we need to go. This is like a really dangerous area still. Let's just go for it. Let's get some redstone. Because I'm ready for a different approach to this whole thing, this whole game thing. Yeah. I'm ready for a different approach to this whole game. Oh no. Any monsters here? Anybody wants to cause me problems? Anybody wants to say something to me? You know, the last couple people who wanted to say something to me, some bad things happened to them, you know? Some bad things happened to them. So, you know, better think twice. Better think twice, mister. Better think twice, mister. I think you'd think better twice about things about thinking about it. You thinking, mister? You better think about this, mister. Take my steel bat, for example. And my projectile projection jacket of you. You know? Think about this. Think about this. Think about this. Mister. Think about it. There we go. See? I hope you've thought deeply and hardly. You know, I thought you'd think hardly with your brain. I hope your brain is overclocked from all of the thinking. The smoke coming out your ears, deciding if it's a good idea to fuck with me. You know? And once you've done thinking about that, I hope you've gone and fucked yourself instead of an abundance of caution. Alright. Hello, everyone in the world. Nice to meet ya. Nice to meet ya, every goddamn person in New York. Okay, I'm from New York now. Yeah, you pissed me off, and now I'm from New York, okay? I'm from everywhere. I'm from anywhere. I'll fuck you right up. Okay, I'll fuck you right up and right down. That's just the way of it. That's just the situation of it all now. Because I ain't playing around. You think I came into this game to play games? Not even a little bit. That's not the reason I did that. I started playing this game for the sake of fuck off. Fuck off. Right off. Hello. Yeah. I know. Oh, I don't know how to deal with that one. Yeah, of course, it's just different. It works longer range, right? Of course, it's got some kind of different mechanics. This is my first time encountering it. Very first time encountering it at the bottom of a fucking... This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. Okay, this is fucking gnarly, nasty fucking bullshit. I don't know why I just signed up for this. Okay. I gotta get my friend Vinny the legs. I gotta get my friend Vinny up in this. Okay, me and Vinny, we gotta fuck. I don't even know anyone named Vinny. What am I doing? What am I doing, boss? What is that? Project thorns. That's what I mean. Thorns. I love it. And then
I feel like this is a good idea. Projectile Projection 3. Projectile Projection 3. That's the right name for the enchantment, isn't it? 3 fish. 3 It's perfect. It's perfect. You know, I got what I need. I got what I came for. You know, I got what I came for. I came for what I got it for. You know, I got it for the way together. And then, I hope these potatoes is ready. Because I really need some potatoes in me. I really need some potatoes in me. You know, me and these potatoes, we go way back. There you go. Alright. You got me to say okay, it's part of my vernacular. I don't usually say it. It feels unnecessarily crass. For a very low return on investment in terms of actual punchiness. But you got me to say it, so I said it, okay? Yeah, that's what you are, okay? That's the thing, okay? It's a very simple insult. It doesn't really mean that much, to be honest. But you're is what you are. Okay? It's simple. It's plain and simple. That's the truth of the matter. That's the truth of the matter of the situation. That's the truth of the matter of the situation, to be honest. There you go. There you go, there you go, yeah. Okay, everything's gonna be okay. I promise, dear viewer, I promise you, okay? We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this rough patch. We're gonna figure this out. Okay? The first step, in my estimation, is gonna be to make some proper armor. Okay? Now, what have we got currently? We've got chainmail. Now, is copper inferior or superior to chainmail? I don't know the answer to this question, to be quite honest with you, dear viewer. What I do know is that I've got Projectile Projection 3, Thorns 1, and Unbreaking 2 on my chest piece. I've also got Projectile Projection 3 on my foot piece. And I've got the fishnets, which I consider to be very stylish, and I've got the fishnet hat, which I assume is probably like a handmade, right? Which is the kind of thing that you would do when you're making food preparation sort of activities, a reality in your life, okay? When you're making those things. For example, when you're chopping up a bunch of bastards, I would assume, right? You're chopping them up with swords. That makes you, you know, a food service professional. How many of these potatoes? Should I keep these potatoes? Or should I eat these potatoes? That's a very good question. I don't know the answer to that. Let's get 2 potatoes. 2 potatoes and then... I don't know. That seems like a bad idea. Stop it, get that, okay, get that, we need that. I wasted 1 bone meal, but I'm taking this upstairs. That's what I'm doing, okay, that's what I'm doing, that's just what I'm going to do. Oh my goodness. Oh hey, you know what, I got fish. I got fishy fish. That's all good. I got fish and potatoes. I have fish and potatoes. I should be all good. As long as I get at least 1 fish, should be all good. I don't have any more torches. I don't have any more torches to my name. Not even a 1 torch. Hey, I like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty stylish. Okay? You know, this is a coping mechanism. Okay, it's called a coping mechanism because it's a healthy way to deal with your emotional problems. If something is a coping mechanism, that's what that means. Okay? Coping mechanism, healthy way of dealing with your problems. For example, beating someone to death with a baseball bat. Healthy coping mechanism, right? It's a coping mechanism, therefore it is healthy. It successfully allows you to cope with your emotional stress. Alright? Drug dealing, right? Helps you deal with your emotional stress. Coping mechanism. You know, alcohol abuse. Well, that's not okay. Oh, come on now. Oh, you don't need the calories. You don't need it. Come on. Okay, you know what? Come here, you. Come here, you. I see you. What? What, you want to do something? You want to do something about that? Oh, I'm sorry. But you're a tiny little bastard. And you're gonna die. Okay, that's just the situation. That's just what it is. You know, you wanna know what it is? That's what it is. Yeah. There we go. That's what I thought. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like I might have to censor some of this. I feel like I might be going a little far on the heavy cursing language. You know, I might be going a little hard for the old algoritmo. But you know, I mean, you all saw that. You saw that situation unfold. You saw that whole situation unfold. That was a lot to process. Really, to be totally honest, that was quite a lot to process. That was quite a lot to take in. It was like pretty intense, really. I mean, it unfolded over a series of encounters, but holy shit, to be totally honest, that was fun. Here, okay, let's make some torches. Okay, and let's set up that lava. Let's keep that lava going. Let's just keep that lava going. I feel like with enough lava, I can probably make myself a fortification to rival the gods. Yeah, to rival the fucking gods, to be totally honest. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Okay, can I stop being from New York? I was never from New York. It's disrespectful, you know? It's disrespectful. Am I gonna stop? I really hope so. I can't bring myself to, though. Oh, shit. No, shit. Okay, well, that's almost the right solution to the problem. It's like almost it. It's terrible. I hate that. Oh, I understand. I understand what I was trying to do. That's terrible. I don't like that at all. That's okay. That's better. That's better. What is that? I don't know. Okay, I'm just doing accents. It's just stupid. It's stupid. It's not even, I don't know. Am I getting anything out of it? No. I'm just purely coping with the stress. That's all I'm doing. I'm just feeling stressed and I'm trying to cope with it, okay? I'm trying to cope. And, as we've established, any coping mechanism is healthy, okay? That's just what it is. That's what it means to cope. A healthy response to whatever it is. So, here's the question. What do we do next? Do we have a lot of iron? No, not really. Do we have any more? Not really. We have a tunic. We have that one. I think we used up the other leather tunic. And then this can go in treasure. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to organize and sort a little bit. But honestly, I'm just mentally discombobulated. I'm mentally discombobulized. God damn it, I can't. It's like, am I trying to stop? I don't know. Okay. Am I slowly losing my mind in real time? Well, you can't lose what you don't have. Alright. This is gonna be fun. Okay, what did I need? I had dirt. I have dirt. I can make more dirt stuff. You know, I can get into the more dirt-related activities of this whole thing. Entire thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sunny. This sucks. Oh, Sunny. You know, you go to your grandma's house and she's like, oh, Sunny, everything's fine. You know, I mean, can you imagine if someone's grandmother sweared? Wouldn't that be messed up or what? No one's grandma says swears. That's not real. Ah, you sheltered little bitch. Let's see. Here we go. Sheltered grandma. Sheltered grandma. That's probably for the best, you know? It's for the best. I even think some would argue that it's for the best. So, I would too. Okay, well that creates a lot of adjacent cropland. And I think that the reason that this one doesn't want to be a bed is because of all of the adjacent fence posts, but that's also what makes the area, like, cute. You know, everything that makes it not a bedroom place is what makes it cute. So let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. You know, let's try this. Let's try that. And then, I don't know. I mean, we could just expand the dirt situation here. I feel like if I give it some overhead room, that'll make a difference. And I feel like also if I add like a space off to the side, that'll also make a difference. But let's see where it places me now. Because I think it's just that it doesn't want me to be... It wants to place me like on flat ground, and then it doesn't see any flat ground like immediately adjacent to the bed, and then it freaks out and just places me all the way up there. But frankly, like, that's so dumb. I mean, it's trying to avoid suffocating me, but that's still dumb. Here, good question. I don't know the answer to it. That's why I asked it. Here we go. Okay, well, let's try this. There is this. Well, dear friends, we will be back. We will be back. We will make space for you. You know, we will make space for you in our lives. You know? Call me Legion, for I am many. What am I implying? You know, am I referring to myself obliquely as a biblical demon? Well, I am having a fight with a witch right now as we speak. Does that make me a demon? They do tend to be at odds generally. It's interesting symbolism, isn't it? But I can't be a biblical demon. I'm from New York. Those two things are not compatible. Boop, 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 boop. And I say boop, 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 and I'm actually a cute girl. So, you know, feels like, probably not. Probably feels like I'm just a person. Probably I am just like a normal person, human. You know what? I don't really want to deal with the creeper right now. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. That's just not my dish. That's not my jam right now. I'm just not into it. Not up for it. Okay? Not up for it right now. You know, sometimes I'm gonna go for a little creeper. You know? Sometimes I can deal with getting a little bit exploded. Sometimes it just feels right. It just feels natural. It just feels like the right thing to happen, you know? It just feels like within the flow of the universe and whatnot. But, not right now. Not right now. I don't feel it. Don't feel it right now. Because I am at 1 health. That's not very many health. It's a very small number of health points, to be totally honest with you. Alright. Well, it's probably worth it just to collect resource right now. Just collect the resource. Right? Just collect the resource, make the lava, expand the generator, make a portal, you know, export poison spiders to all dimensions, numerously, you know. What's the next step? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out together, dear viewer. I feel like I'm gonna have to, like... I've actually come up with an excuse. I need to remove the New York accent. How do I become myself again? After extreme trauma, throughout my entire life, has made me shape myself into a completely version of myself I don't really recognize when I look in the mirror, you know? A version of myself designed to protect myself from others and their judgment. How do you become yourself for the first time? I'm asking. Put in the comments, how do you become yourself for the first time? Here we go. There we go. And then then this, and then that, and then this, and then we can do a little bit more of that, and then we can keep going, and we can just like dig our way into this. We just keep going, you know, we just keep on moving. I think I am going to dig out a little room for the loud on this. So a lot of this is going to feel like deja vu, because I'm basically rebuilding a base from scratch, again, for the first time. And I have 48 redstone walking around in my backpack. That feels like not a great idea. You know, let's put it away. Put it away in solid state storage. Okay, well that's not solid state storage, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. You understand what I'm trying to answer. Yabba-dabba-doo. You know, yabba-dabba-doo. As a famous scholar once said, yabba-dabba-doo. You know, that's what he said. And he was right. You know, and he was wise. And he wore a piece of animal hide around his waist. That is a normal sort of a thing that you can do as a person. It's a normal thing you can do. It's just a totally normal, average thing you can do as a person. It's like, it's allowed, it's not illegal. And that's just, we all have to put up with that on some level. That it's like an option to go around in a loincloth. So, you know, we all have to emotionally deal with that reality of it. It's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Kind of, what's the word? Nutterific. It's kind of nutterized. Yeah. Anyway, so basically that's what I've been thinking about lately. That's what's been on my mind. I guess I could be like possessed by a demon, like accidentally somehow. That's possible. That's possible. I don't know how that would have happened, you know. It's not like I've been, you know, printing off random demonic sigils on library computers for like the last couple of years, just to like have them around just in case, and then destroying them for no reason. You know, it's not like I've been thoughtlessly playing around with black magic, you know, for no reason. That would be dumb. And I'm smart. Me smart. Alright. Me smart. That's the fundamental principle of alchemy. Me smart, I do what I want. Okay. There we go. Up, up, up. Toot, toot, toot. Yeah, toot, toot, toot. We get a little toot, toot, toot. We get a little bop, bop, bop. We get a little jiggy with it. We get a little toot, toot, toot. We get a little bop, bop, bop. We get a little jiggy with it. A little toot, toot, a little bop, 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 bop. We get a little jiggy with it. You know, am I planning this out in a reasonable way? Am I, like, thinking ahead? No, definitely not. Why would I do that? That would be stupid. And me smart. Oh no. Me too smart for me own good. Alright. Come on. I came from there. What? You gotta tell me that I can't tunnel up from there, because I came from there. Yeah, no. That's what I thought. You need Vinny with the legs in here. You know Vinny with the legs to teach you a few lessons about charity and kindness. And about goodwill towards men. And by goodwill, I do mean a baseball bat to the teeth. You know? I remember there was a Minecraft, there was a texture pack, I think it was, way back in the day. I remember that, basically, the way it skinned iron swords was as baseball bats, and wooden swords were also baseball bats. So it was a wooden bat and metal bat, and then I think stone swords were like a concrete pillar or something. And then diamond was, I think it was just a diamond sword at that point. But there was just I thought it was clever. I liked it. I thought it was pretty neat. I thought it was pretty nifty. That was pretty cool.
Okay, so, oh my goodness. How does one return to the true self after turning to the false self to save one from life's agonies? And I would say that the crawl out of that situation is a long and a desperate one, and that might just be the only answer to it. You have to keep choosing the version of yourself that you would be if you were safe, and if you did have everything under control. And you have to continue doing that over and over and over again until your situation starts to mirror your choices. But it won't do that immediately. And for a long time, it will seem like you're acting as though you're safe when you're simply not. And you have to act in defiance of what, like, the reality around you, what it seems to be, what that reality seems to be. You have to act in defiance of it, I think, is the answer. I really think that's the answer. And that's a terrifying answer. That's like the hardest answer that anything could be, I think. There's like, that's like, there's no sugar on that. That's all salt. That's just eating a brick of salt. That's what that feels like. So, yeah, Venmo me. I don't have Venmo. Follow my Patreon for more evil therapy. Please. I'm starving. Okay, not yet, but like, I will be pretty soon, because I keep just making Minecraft videos. I don't know. Did y'all see that, that thingy I made? Did y'all see that thingy I made? I thought it was a pretty cute thingy I just made. It was pretty neat. I was pretty proud of myself for making that thingy, so, What was it? I found the LEDs. I can bake them into the modeling clay, so I can actually have, I can model my house trees, and then I can actually have them in real clay. I like that you're there. I want to keep you there, because as long as you're there, a skeleton can't spawn there. Okay, well anyway, let's try this. Try that. Try this. Trilobite. Trilobite. TNT. And Trilobite. We need like a paleo version cover of that song. I think that would enrich, generally, all human lives. So, there is that. I mean, I'm probably gonna want to make a proper bedroom down here, with like a nice like water feature going through. That might actually just be the thing to do for this episode. Once the important stuff's out of the way. Once the important stuff's out of the way. Here we go. How many buckets are we gonna need? I mean, the question is, can we find more Stalagger jewels? Because so far we've got 3. I found one over there, off camera a little while ago. Don't worry about it. I wasn't cheating. I just found it. That's normal. That's okay. Don't try to mess me up. Don't try to find out where I live and murder me in my sleep. That would be pretty rude and not cool. So don't do that. I'm asking you nicely not to do that. Although, I do have a high baseline of suffering for whatever reason. And it's not related to my external life. So, the relief is not to be understated, So, I'm asking, but I can't control others. I can't control the needs and desires of others. So, I'll just have to accept. I'll just have to accept what it is, whatever it is. So there is that. There's some stuff going on there. There's some things to remember, some things to consider, some things to consider. Okay, so have I got this reasonably under control?
Definitely not. Definitely not. But, do I feel like I'm a little bit more? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Why all the questions? You know, the boss doesn't like it when you ask all these questions, you know, Vinny. That's why they call him Vinny with the legs, because they chopped his legs off. So the legs are like next to him, metaphorically, within the meta-diegetic narrative of the situation. Okay. Meta-diegetic is definitely a word that people know. In general. It's kind of insulting to people's intelligence, you know, to expect them not to know the term meta-diegetic. It's like pretty a normal word, you know. I've been saying this to my girl, you know, to my girl, who's like my girl. She's like a creature, and she lives under my sink. And she's got 6 limbs, and she's got 3 like long whip-like structures coming out of her rear end. And she's got 2 antennae on the front, but the antennae are kind of short. It's hard to see them most of the time. But I know that they're there. Because I look real close sometimes. Because I'm curious. And yeah. That does seem to be the way that her whole situation is arranged. So, there's much to think about there. There's a lot to consider. There's a lot to conspire. Okay, so one of the things we can make is a lot more cherry wood, and doors, and fencing, and gates, and whatnot. So, we can just do that. We can just do that, you know? Instead of just talking about it, we can just do that. Come on. There you go. That's fine. Okay, whatevers. Whatevers. What is the ever of it? I don't know. Here. Okay, so then that, and then... Cute. I just think it's cute. I want one. You don't want me to have one. I'll get you, you know? I'll curse your bloodline. You know what I'll do? I'll curse your bloodline. Do curses do anything? Probably not. I really hope they don't. Because as we've established, I'm very responsible when it comes to, you know, just reading dark rituals aloud in my underwear, alone, whenever I get a chance, you know, just for fun. So, yeah, definitely only good things can result. Only good things can result from that whole thing. Well, I'm gonna have to move you, buddy, I'm sorry. But, don't worry, fear not. You're a nice decorative element, and I value your contribution. So I'm gonna leave you there, and then you're gonna be like there, and then you're gonna be here. And then we can go here, and we can go this, and we can go that, right? And that's a good way to start it. That's a good way to start this thing. Okay, so then we've got this. And how high up can we go? I guess the sky's the limit there. As far as that's concerned. As far as that is concerned. As far even as that is concerned. Oh no. Okay, come on. Here we go. One more. We do it. Come on. Yeah. See? Kobe. Which I assume is short for cold beans. Confirm for me in the comments that is definitely the case. And I will believe it for the rest of my life. Well, what do I do there? No idea. Yeah. That kind of hurt quite a bit. That did kind of hurt quite a lot of hurtness. That did a lot of suffering to me. You know, and so why do I choose suffering? Why do I choose things that harm me, that cause me trouble and pain and torment and whatnot? It seems like an unwise decision to do so. You know? But when did I ever say I was wise? Did I ever tell you I was wise? No, I surely did not, for I know the case to be exactly the opposite. But is it not wise to become wise if one knows oneself not to be wise already? For is wisdom not the greatest gift bestowed by, poison spiders upon mankind? Humanness, whatever. Anyway, those vines need more time to grow. I think we've established this. What are you holding? What are you holding? What is that? No, what is that? Oh, come on now. I don't want to know what you think, Mr. Skeleton. I really don't. I have expressed zero curiosity as to your opinion on the matter, and I do not have any desire to understand or acknowledge your viewpoint. That's a cute cat. That's a cute cat. That's a cute cat. That's a cute cat that's in the living room right now. Okay? It's just a metaphorical cat. Just a metaphorical cat that doesn't exist. Oh no. Oh no. I have some terrible news. The family metaphor drowned in the sink last night. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that. Alright, it does look like some things are starting to work out. At risk of everything exploding and being terrible. It does seem like some things are starting to work out. And even this seems like some things might be starting to work out. Oh no. Okay. Did I already deploy the rest of my cauldrons there? Oh, I did. Totally, I did. Okay. Well, yeah, I still have some questions as to what to do with the rest of this iron. But, I have 3 generators going right now. How much wood do I have? Do I have, like, a stack of logs? Oh, I do have a stack of logs. Those are high value. But, I also have a lot. I also have a lot of wood in general. People just give me wood. They just show up and they give me wood. So I get a lot of free wood. It's crazy. It's a strange situation. But, I realized that I can actually make good use of said wood and expand my investment portfolio as a result. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. It's actually kind of a good situation. I'm not against it. I'm not opposed. Wood's wood. If somebody wants to give you a bunch of wood, you take it. You take that wood, You get an opportunity, a wood-pertunity, I call it, because it's an opportunity that involves wood. Someone offers you wood, you take it. For example, I took an old lady's wood the other day. It was pretty great. I realized it made like a perfect Christmas present for my mother. Okay, if anyone from New York is actually watching, please just, to be honest, because it does kind of feel like it's strikingly the opposite at the moment. Alright. Enough, plausible deniability right here. So we've got enough of that. We've got enough of that going around. Enough people have mental problems. It's okay. Let's have a mental solution. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. How do we go about this? I want an auto composter. I'm just a little greedy like that. I really like my auto composting ability. I like to have it up and running pretty early on. Pretty early on into the 38th episode of the game. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a composter, I'm going to have another composter, and I'm going to have, I think it's 5 blocks high, I don't know, but I know at the very bottom layer is a chest. Okay, the chest is the bottom layer, and then the chest you use to collect all the bone meal at the end. Okay, so this is simple, right? In theory, anyway. It's elegant in its simplicity, it's simple in its elegance, it's brutally efficient, it's darkly, brutally whatever. So, we get that, we get a chest, right? We go chest mode. We grab this, we make that, we take this, we take that. We're gonna need another chest. So we're gonna need more planks, right? We're gonna need more planks, we're gonna need more wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted too fast and I lost track while I was clicking. Okay, so then we go in here, we grab this. I wish you could put the diamond horse armor on an alpaca. That would be cute. You know, I mean, who's to say that you shouldn't ride your alpaca into battle? They spit on people and things, you know? I feel like they got a good idea about battle and wars and stuff, just on the sole basis of that. Okay, so then that, come on, that, and then the composter goes above that. I can't help it. I'm really trying, but it like once it comes out, it's, you know. Why am I fighting myself? Why am I fighting myself for control? It's like I've been possessed by the spirit of a Yankee. God damn it. No. Arg. Okay. Wait, no, that's not where I wanted that. No. Okay, but what we can do, no, that's also not where I wanted that. I just want it on top of the thing. No, come on. On top. Yeah, exactly. And then, okay, and then, even higher than that, because on top here we need a chest. So what is that? Chest, 7 slabs. And that's what you need for an auto composter. It's a lot. Yeah. But then, even into that chest, you can put another pipe, and if you have a renewable source of anything that'll compost, then, you know, there's one way to get bone meal a little bit more efficiently. But I think y'all know the real solution to this problem. It's cold-blooded murder with a baseball bat. Usually that's the solution. Hey, motherfucker, come here. You wanna see my defenses? Hey, motherfucker, come here. Ha ha, suck my Alright, hey, buddy, you wanna see my defenses? Nice. He doesn't want to see my defenses. He's defenseless because he's a motherfucker. Alright, so let's get down to serious business. The real reason I brought you out here. The real deep dark secret behind all of my scribbling and scrabbling in this situation of it all. The real situational scribbling and scrabbling. Did you know that Meowth was actually a transgender woman? So I hope in some sense, I'm just channeling, you know, Meowth. Well, I guess I should say that Meowth was played by a transgender woman. A character does tend to possess one when one chooses to play said character, though. You know? Brings me back to the what is it? The Jim Carrey question. Yeah, the Jim Carrey question. Who is that? Like, when you play any part, when you act a role in a film, for example, or anything, right? Anything theatrical or whatnot, you're playing a character, right? But in your day-to-day life, you also play a character. And so who are you when you're not playing a character? That's the question I'm trying to kind of like answer. That's the question I'm like scraping at in my brain. But it's not really coming out right, you know? It's not coming out the correct way. Now what I wonder is how big I should make this room. Because I do want to give them like a little bit of free range, a little bit of free run. You know, I don't want them to feel all confined. I want my poison spiders to be happy. You know, I want them to feel like nourished and joyful. I want them to feel like the world is abundant. I want them to have that abundance. Oh, to be feel that they're not at their full potential. I want them to feel that they have, the warmth, the love, the safety that they need to put out roots and feelers into the overall world. So there is that. Okay, let's keep going. We just keep going. I was really hoping to find more Vistula modules. I am going to leave a lot of these cobwebs up. I know I'll find more, but I don't want to really count on it too much. If you understand my meaning. Oh, that's interesting. Hello. Oh, you want to be involved in my life? That's good to hear. I'm glad. Welcome back, motherfucker. Come on. Say hi. I've missed you all these years. It's really been a pleasure getting to know you again, Pops. Alright. Are you poison or are you not poison? Oh, you're not even poison. You're not even a poison spider. I'm not gonna allow it. Sorry. Okay. I had a little change of heart. I had a little moment there. When I thought I was gonna I had a little moment where I thought I was gonna change my mind about y'all and be like, oh, well, maybe spiders don't need to be poisoned, to be valid. But I've just done some self-reflection and self-examination, and I've realized that poison spiders are the only way to go. Poison spiders are the answer. Poison spiders are the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to poison spiders, except through poison spiders. It's the only way. This should go without saying. It's an obvious fact. It's an obvious fact. You can't get poison spiders without poison spiders. It's one step. And the step is poison spiders. Should be obvious. But, to some people, it's not so obvious. And why is that the case? People think that there's some sort of secret magic shortcut to get around poison spiders as a means to acquiring poison spiders. And I think that's just wrong-headed, to be totally honest. I don't fully understand the logic of it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If it makes sense to you, I hope you heal. I hope you heal emotionally. I hope you grow. I hope you change. Because there's no other way you're going to get poison spiders than poison spiders. It's just the truth, So I went to AA. I went to Alcoholics Anonymous. And they were like, you gotta stop drinking. And I said, well, how do you get your poison spiders? And they're like, well, it's by drinking alcohol. I drink a lot of alcohol, and then the poison spiders, they just like alcohol, and they come around me, and they start swooping and scraping on me. And I'm like, yeah, well, so that's what you do, right? That's what I do. So it should make sense, shouldn't it? It should make sense to do so. And they're like, well, it's different for me, because I'm cooler and better. And then I just punched them. I just punched them a lot. And that solved the situation, It's called a coping mechanism, because it's how you cope. This means it's healthy. For example, I cope by spreading the good word of poison spiders across the land, Have you ever heard of Johnny fucking Appleseed? Imagine that, but actually a good person. That's what I am. Johnny Appleseed, but for something actually worthwhile and valuable. There's gonna be a lot of digging. Well, it's only a lot of digging. It's only the amount of digging that I choose, but I tend to choose a lot of digging. It seems to be the thing. It does seem to be the thing I do. There's a lot of digging. I do a lot of digging. So, what do I do about that? I don't know. What do I do about that? What do I do about that? Do. Do. Poison in the spiders. Spiders in the poison. Am I starting to make any sense? Are you starting to put the pieces together? Are you starting to understand my message? Well, I really hope so, because I don't. Do. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, I mean, what else is there to do? Oh, just try it. Just try it. I am invincible. Nothing can get me here. You know? I'm invincible. I'm invincible. I am not able to be invincible. Can't even be invincibilized. Okay. Hubris aside. Well, that one's making it. I mean, they should both be, I think. Alright, well, we have one more dripstone. So that's good, you know. That's good, that's something, you know. But no more lava, which is a little strange. It's a little strange, in my opinion. It's even a little strange, I would even go so far as to say that it's a bit strange. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd, it is. It's a bit unnerving. It's a bit unnerving. A bit odd. And then, I don't know, I do feel like I could stand to have a couple more buckets, to be totally honest. I could stand to have a couple more buckets. And some shears, you know, I haven't had some shears in a little while. Those are nice. I like having them around. I also would like to have an iron pick. For reasons, you know, that are my own. No, you're not allowed to ask. Come on. I could maybe make an anvil with a little more iron. But mostly, I am trying to build up like a good stockpile of various resources. Here, well, okay, so then the other thing I can do is I can take that, and I can take that, and I can make a goodly amount of planks. I mean, 4 times 32 makes 2 stacks. I only want, like, a little under a stack. But I want the same things that I wanted before. I just want, like, doors. That's fine. Doors, right? Fences, gates, that kind of thing. That nature of thing. And then that. How does that work again? Like that, like that? Like that, like that. And then, just make them, please. Alright. Now, you, we can get rid of you. And then that can have cobble. You know, that can just have a lot of cobble. You know, we'll be mining a lot of cobble. We'll be generating a lot of cobble. That being said, I do want more cobble pickaxes. So that's like a whole additional consideration to add to this whole thing. Yeah. And then there is that, and then pressure plate is the only other thing to my like sort of standard MO, my standard method. My standardized method. Okay, so this is probably the right place for that to go. I'm gonna want this on the floor. That's gonna want to be there. This is gonna want to be here. You know, let's put that there, and then let's put maybe we can just literally
this off and make like a proper, here's the door. And then we can go with this, and we can go with this, and we can go with this, and we can go one more, because we can just make that in the inventory. That's easy, right? Then we've got one from either direction, and then I don't know, aesthetically, am I going to keep it this way? Maybe. It's kind of cute. I think it's kind of cute, you know, to vary up the wood types and just like make your own thing, but I don't know. It's kind of a question of like, in the long run, am I going to keep that up? Just for this area, I think like is a little like head nod to what was here when I got here. I think it's kind of a neat idea. You know, I think it's kind of cute. I think it's kind of interesting and compelling and whatnot. Also kind of makes it feel like I'm taking over the world in a sort of way. You know, gives me a metaphorical feeling of power or whatever. And then, why is the sun in here? I guess it's coming in through this door. Maybe is like what's supposed to be kind of represented through that. It's a little strange. And then this one goes down, right? And at the end of that hallway, well, I mean, this connects back there, so I'm probably at some point going to just like hollow out this whole volume and just make that like my farmland sort of area. And then that'll be lava generation, and then that'll be like the living room. So this will be the poison spider room for all my poison spiders. And then this will be my just like other room. You know, for my things that aren't poison spiders, my useless dumb things that aren't poison spiders. Yeah, so, you know, there's going to be things that aren't poison spiders. Unfortunately, in order to enable the acquisition of poison spiders, one has to tolerate things that are not poison spiders. It's just a sad, bitter, irritating truth of life. You know, sometimes you gotta suck it up. Sometimes you gotta just slurp it up through a straw in order to achieve anything, you know, worthwhile and poison spider related. So that's all like, you know, just the annoying, irritating truth. So it's irritating and annoying is what it is. What can you do? What can you do? Sometimes it doesn't feel like it is much. Sometimes it feels like it's almost nothing. But it's not nothing. You showed up, you know? You showed up and you tried and you cried like a pathetic little child and you whimpered and moaned and you were like, you know? But you did, and you were here. And that's like worth something. You know, that's worth something. That's worth scrumpling about. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm kind of serious. I don't know. Sometimes life is just, almost always, life is very painful and difficult. So, you know, what you can achieve, what you can do in spite of all the difficulty, it's like, good for you. You know? You tried. And not like in a participation trophy kind of way. I really do mean like to show up and take your swing, you know, at the ball game, you know, at the game of the balls. It's something. Something. I like this version. I'm gonna keep this. Oh, for now. Everything's temporary. Nothing lasts forever. The earthly hope men set their hearts upon turns ashen where it prospers, and liken unto the snow upon the desert's dusty peaks, withers away the hour, and anon, in a moment, it too is gone. It's just a cheerful thought, you know, a cheerful thought to brighten up your whatever. Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve.
do you stand for gold beans? Or do you stand for nothing?
Okay. Let me see if I can remember the stanzas. Water first, then lava. Actually, yeah, whatever. Let's go with that. I mean, there must be more dripster-madoodles. There's just gotta be. There's just gotta be more dripster-madoodles. Look at how many dudes there are. There's just a lot of guys. There's just a lot of guys around. I mean, if the lava that was there would generate a little faster, that would help me. I do have 3 obsidian as item. But that's pretty valuable to me as it stands right now. Did that skeleton just knock himself off? Sorry, that was a very silly laugh, but that's what happened. It's kind of neat. It's kind of helpful. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take it. Oh, there's my girlfriend. Why did I leave? You know? Why did I ever leave? Makes no sense. You know? That's strange. Comes and goes as it pleases. She makes all these horrifying gurgling noises, and I just up and leave. Doesn't make any sense. It's lamentable, in fact. Able to be lamented. Well, I better make sure that this creeper doesn't mess up my girlfriend. Oh no! Oh, the poor bat. Ah, well, anyway. Let's also make sure that the zombie doesn't mess with my poor girlfriend. See? She's just trying to make all these creepy noises for me. And what am I doing? You know? Nothing normal. Nothing good. You know? Just being a general pain in the petunias. She doesn't deserve that. Not really. She deserves better than that. She's a good girlfriend. I guess what I'm kind of pointing at is I could do some proper exploration. I don't really have any inventory space to speak of. But I do have some inventory space to squeak of. Squeak, squeak. Nope. kind of thing that's better to grab on the way home. Yeah, okay. I mean, it kind of de-risks the area to have a creeper blow off a ledge like this. Because then you get a better idea of, like, the depth of it. Like, is it just a one block overhang? Who are you? Where are you from? Did I just get shot by that skeleton? I don't know, maybe. Who knows? It's not something I know. Well, there are many things I don't know. I wonder if that's dripstone down there. Hard to tell. See, every time I do that, I get a little bit further out. And you see that you can just picking fights and then running away like a little... And though that is actually what is happening, you know, there is something to it. You've just illuminated a little bit more. And my potatoes have grown a little taller. My potatoes have grown a little taller. And my lava generation, is it still sluggish? I don't know. Is there a way to, like, increase the rate? Have they lowered the rate at which lava is renewable? It's possible. I suppose it's possible. Some could even argue that it may be possible that that's what happened. I don't know. Anyway, whatever, you know, not even gonna worry about it. Not even gonna think about that. It's late, it's Christmas Eve. I'm kind of like ready to call it at this point. You know, I do kind of feel like, this episode has been a bit of a wash. We did see some poison spiders, so that's, you know, I'm never going to count that as, like, a complete loss. I do really like this armor set, so I'm going to leave it here. And never wear it again. I'm going to put it on an armor stand. No, I'm going to save it definitely for the nether, actually, and make a full iron armor set. Vulnerability. Who is she? I don't know her name. You know? Something like that. At least that much armor. And then there's a stone. I can probably use that for something. And then, what is this? I can make a helmet. And then boots. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, try processing your emotions. Try co-processing with me now. I'll get you. Yeah, okay, and then the other thing I kind of like, I am a big fan of Dupe Slate. I think it's neat. I like it a lot. But definitely, I also like having enough potatoes. Yeah, I like having enough potatoes. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel like, you know, like life can. reflection there. What was that? I think that was the reflection of the bone mill happening. Super neat. Like that. I've got an axe. I don't have another place to grow more of these trees. So I might have to just go up. You've got a shovel though. I do kind of need a shovel. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. Gotta fight you for your shovel. Hello, I want your shovel. You have a shovel. Fight me for it. Oh. That's annoying. You didn't drop your shovel. It's pretty rude, dude. Could have been nicer, but you decided not to be. You decided to be a rude dick. Lame. Not really a fan of that. Well, I mean, there is this one. And then there's this one, and then there's that one. So have I explored all of the neighboring tunnels? I don't think I've explored this one. Hello. You're very annoying. But I don't like you. I hope bad things happen to various parts of Castelia. Alright. He didn't seem to like that. I guess I could have been friendlier. Oh no. Okay. That's fine. I mean, to be fair, you know, I didn't threaten. You know, I just expressed my hopefulness. You know, my desire is more than my goodness. This is stressful. We do have some deep slate now, though. So, that makes things a little bit nicer. Anything else? Anything else that can be done? I'm just a little... Oh. Well, you know what? One more lava is one more lava. When did that happen? Does seem to be a lot of cave-ins here. Oh, that's cool. That's right where my poison spiders are. So they'll be accessible from my bedroom. Let's not examine why I just said that. Thank you all so much for watching. I have a Patreon. Support me on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Like the video, comment, share, subscribe, mail me a pipe bomb, you know. Do whatever feels right to you in the moment. Attempt to summon me, you know, using my sigils and various incantations. Remember, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, it is always Tuesday. And Merry Christmas. Oh no. Hello. Yes, good. I love you. My darling, my angel. Hello. Hello. Yes, yes, good, good, good. Yes, good. Yes. Oh, I love you. Yes. You've infected me with their love.